Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox here. On the show this evening is the two big muckers, Southside and Stevie. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Ox. Good to be on Wednesday night with my big mucker, Stevie. I'll just give William and Stephen a shout out in the YouTube lobby. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Evening, Stephen.
Good evening, boys. Welcome to the Dream Team Wednesday, and it is a big station serving the nation. And I believe it's a bit of a special night tonight, lads.
Oh, it's your birthday?
No, not my birthday, no. I'm talking about topics.
Oh, topics? Well, I used to like a topic. You don't get them anymore, do you?
No, not at all, no.
No, you don't, do you know? They were quite nice, weren't they?
Aye. The truth will always prevail. They were quite nice, huh? The truth will always prevail.
The truth.
Listen, how are you, Stephen? I believe there's an HR issue going on, a bit of bullying, people sending you pictures, mate. You just let me know and I'll deal with it.
Oh, terrible. A bare 40s of steaks and everything. Oh, absolutely disgrace. I'm in that all there. I want to join that club, Barron. They don't work. And they might see the grub they're sending me. Terrible.
Right to reply, Southside?
What do you mean I don't work? Take that one out of the equation, you. Just had a bit more free time today. The sun was out. We took a wee trip out to Partick, and then we come back, and Albert was quite happy to have a wee jar or two this afternoon in the sun, which led
Yes,
to
I believe you vacated one of my gang huts, yes?
Yes, we did, yes. We went over to a posher boozer on the south side. So, yes, we were over there, and we got some food and another few drinks, and it was a delightful afternoon.
I'm sure the boozer might have been posher, but the clientele would they be?
I don't know, I've seen some of them in that boozer you go to.
Yeah, that's at the end of the night.
There's a few look like that at the end of the night, isn't there?
Anyway, we digress. Look, I just want to. I picked up something today, and we'll come to what's happening in Scottish football. We'll come to that. Sure, there's a few things that are really worrying me. But listen, I picked up something today. It was the goal of the month, mate, and it started Rangers goal of the month, and they had Cherny's goal away, his first goal in Fenerbahce, where they move, and arguably his second goal. Some people might think was better. The second goal was Raskin's goal against Dane with a header. The first goal against Dane with a header. The third goal was Diamandi's goal with a move, with a chip, the header by Raskin and the finish. The fourth goal was Hamza Agaman strike. And the fifth goal was Tav's goal on March. I don't know if I've had a selection ever in the 1 month. All the way for Ibrox, Stevie, where the goals have been so good. Yeah?
Oh, there's been a few bumpers. There's been an absolute few crackers, isn't there? There really has been away from home, aye. But listen, I'm maybe it's just because of who it was against, but we Man's goal, what a finish that was. That was the net before God get the news, you know. That was just bang, top corner, good night, and that was the game done. Somebody hit the fire alarm at Parkhead, they were never doing it all of a sudden. That was brilliant. I'd give it to the wee man. You know, that's just how I feel about that.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree, but Southside, there's been some crackers, isn't there?
Aye, obviously, Ignaman's for the magnitude of the game, and at the end of the game, and going there with a bit more support this time and getting the result, which we all thought going there we would get. So that was good. I think Tav's goal, the one
on Saturday.
On Saturday, I think. I mean, once he scored that, I was right behind it, and the minute I left his foot, I knew it was in. And I thought then had a wee look at the scoreboard to see the time, and I thought, we're back in this now. This is it going to change, and so I thought Tavs was a good finish in the strike for where he was. Was it 25 yards out, wasn't he? Maybe 20 yards.
Aye. I thought, listen, they were all good goals, you know, and I get Stevie's point, but I just the selection when I seen it, I went, aye, so that's what happened in March, you know. Mental really, but and also surprisingly, none of them at Ibrox. So I see some news broke yesterday about the league reconstruction. Now the last people don't ever ask is the supporters, mate, and obviously it's been mooted a 10-team league, which I can only see is 36 games. Well, obviously they split. They've talked about a 14 league. I'd like to see how that was going to work Southside. What would you play? 26 games and then break half into two sections, a 7 play 6. You know,
probably in a 14.
Aye.
I hate this split nonsense, but if you're going to split it, I think you'd need to do top 6 and a boat, mate.
Right, okay. And then you would only play 36 games again?
No, you would just have to play the top 6, play each other twice, home and away again. Because they'll 1 to 4 games. It means you'll probably play a couple of extra games down the bottom, but since you might be getting relegated or whatever, it'll give you a couple of bit of more gate money. They'd probably have to play twice in all, which they'd probably play slightly more games, but why do you do it? There's no really other way of doing it. I don't think.
I'm up for reconstruction, but I'm up for twice a year. They split, 20-team league and play 38 games, the same as we play this now. The fixtures are home and away. There's no... the fixtures come out and you go on with it. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Stevie?
Aye, can I just say it was very timely when they brought that out anyway.
Yes, it's coming out.
We'll just stick to this now, but
yes,
I just thought, I thought it was timely. But anyway, I would probably go for that, play each other twice, just home and away, and then see what has to happen after that. You know, you're playing them 4 times, and then you can get them in the 2 cup competitions 6 times. We know that's what the telly want. You know, that's what the telly's obviously wanting to get. And that's the only way the Scottish League's going to get big money, let's be honest, if we play each other 4 times. You know, so I don't know whether...
I've got another view on that, Stevie. I've got another view.
Aye, well, mine's is they never, ever ask the guys that matter as the fans, you know, what they want. It's always about TV money. And let's be honest, Docs, for the guys that go to the games, I mean, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, Friday nights, you name it, man. You're all... Man, we used to play football at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
My memory's not that long, Stevie, if I'm honest. This week we played 3 o'clock on a Saturday, didn't we?
Aye.
Aye. Right, so I mean, I get it, and I've got a point of view with the 4 times a season. I think if you're trying to market something, there can be overkill, and it happens too often. If you have 2 massive games, you market it and make it bigger. Just my take on it, mate. Just the way I see it, and I just think any supporter, I know of any team in Scotland doesn't like the split. So the last people they seem to talk to is the fans. Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, you're right. It was timely when that came out today, yesterday. Obviously, Southside's birthday as well, and then it broke, and there was all sorts going on. I wonder why Southside.
You know why they brought it out? They brought it out to stop the major story. That Celtic were
deflect.
Aye, they were going to be paying compensation. Just quickly, I know we were talking about going to another league and a bigger league. Just quickly, no plastic pitches, mate. We can't have that in a league. You can't be playing in plastic pitches. That's just no. And I know off that championship are plastic pitches, but I think that's a rule. I think they'd want to change and make it that we all play in grass at all times. We'll probably not get through, but at the moment it is. In the league that we're in at the moment, there's no. We voted it out in Kilmarnock. I believe we'll probably change theirs next season. I think that's the last year that you've got.
Kilmarnock or Livingston will come up.
Aye, but the votes are ready. Well, Falkirk come up. They'll need to they might get plastic for one season, but they'll have to change if they're still in that league the following season, because that was the ruling.
I don't disagree with that, mate. I don't disagree with that. That grass is the way to go, mate. You know, as Fox says, he prefers grass to plastic because he can smoke grass. Stevie.
Aye. There's the argument there. I mean, if they're coming up, you've got to have grass. Come on, man. It's the Premier League. All parts should be grass and well looked after. I mean, we'll fund the way into it. I mean, you've got to keep the lights on at night and let the grass grow. I mean, that's the way forward here in Scotland, because, I mean, the dark nights will be in shortly again. So, for me, 100%, the argument there, if you're coming into the Premier League, it's got to be grass parts. It's got to be. And getting back to, obviously, what we're talking about there, they brought that out in timely to deflect away from the real true story. The biggest story in sporting history in my eyes, a paedophile ring gone with, I don't know the actual, I mean, I've lost count. I mean, I don't know what the actual figures are, but just let me tell you, this is my take on it, Ox. I'll say my butt on it, and then we can get talking about the Rangers again. My take on it is, it happened through 3 decades, the 70s, 80s and 90s. The clubs try to deny any involvement in it. Their greatest manager puts it in his book. They all knew it was happening. They've tried to deflect away from it. They've never took once any of the victims or their families into consideration. Never once they've tried to deny it, all knowledge. Clydesdale horse approached it, and now they're starting to pay out, which tells you one thing: you don't pay a penny out if you were innocent, never ever. And these guys are, they are redneck. They don't. And I'll tell you another thing, Ox, and I'm going to be totally honest here, I know. See this, the deafening silence for the Celtic support through the whole lot of this. This has been going on for years. Through the whole lot of this, there's never been a banner, never been any sort of display. There's never been nothing for any of the Celtic Supporters Association buses or anything about this carry on. They should have been banging on the chairman's door or their club's door and saying, let's get this put to bed. Look at the way Man City dealt with it. Yep, it happened. We wanted to go away. There's the money. They paid the victims out and they put them on it and they done it.
Sometimes, Stevie, in life, it's no sometimes in life it's no the deed. You can't do nothing about that. It's when people start to cover it up.
Oh, well, that's worse than that. That's worse than actually what's happened. You know, people try to cover it up. Let's be honest, Ox. If a guy, a paedophile, moved into next door to any of these Celtic fans, they'd be the first to shout and bawl and phone the police and want them out and all the rest of it. That's just human nature. But see this deafening silence. And I'll tell you another thing. See the media up here in Scotland and the media outside as well. They've hardly reported on it. It's been wee bits on a bit of paper every now and again, a wee corner in the box, maybe saying something about it. Not one of the media outlets have chased it up. They've never made it front page news highlight. It's always been a wee bit here or there. Nobody's to talk about it. You know, nobody's to talk about it at all. Radio Clyde, the guy just read the statement out, but nobody's to talk about it because they're partners with Celtic Radio Clyde. And that's why I get angry when Rangers fans actually phone that station up. They're partners with Celtic. And I don't get why your people going there. But listen,
I'll keep my thoughts, and I've always thought this, and I'll keep it brief in respect to the people that have suffered for it, because they've got to be respectful of the people, for the victims, young men, and one of them happened to know forfeit where you abide, mate. So I would say this, and just my take on it, I wouldn't swap our history at any time for their history. And I'll keep it brief like that. Southside.
Well, I think it was an open secret that a lot of people, as Stevie's alluded to, I think a lot of media, new allegations. There was a whistleblower back in the late 70s, early 80s, who went to Celtic and complained about things that had happened, and he was sort of dismissed. There was nothing really followed up in it.
As you were in culturally all over at that time.
Correct. Aye. They probably went, no, don't believe it, whatever. But there was a whistleblower or two came forward, and then eventually things started to unfold. But they only really unfolded until Fergus McCann went into the club. He was the one that phoned the police, I believe, because an American family contacted him and told him about a story of a young player who'd been running a tournament in America and what he'd went through. And Fergus phoned the police straight away. So he acted on it for the information he received from America, was what the story seems to transpire. And then it took another few years for anything to transpire for anybody to get convicted. But it's like anything. I'll say this, right? First of all, there's no one person on here can even understand what all the victims have went through. And even though there's been some money displayed and put towards them, it will probably not be enough for some at all. It might help them in some way, but
take away your innocence, mate.
Aye, yeah. Exactly. Families gave their children out to Celtic Boys Club to be looked after, and they weren't looked after, and that's a fact. But I'll say this, right? See, at the end of the day, there's always a possibility that one paedophile will infiltrate an organisation until they get caught. He says, but when you have 7 at one point in that organisation, and there was 7 in place at the same time, he says then that infiltration then seems to be a systematic, to me, contrived a paedophile ring that they brought together into that club at that time. And that's what it seems to be like, because 7 at one point was there, But so, aye, and I think they should be held to account. I think it's been brushed under by Parliament. I'm sure the Scottish Parliament passed something a few years back and said there'd be nothing really to any other investigation after the SFA or the SPFL, whatever it was, but an investigation in. But morally, they should be held to account by the rest of Scottish football. We were held account for something to do with tax problems and EBTs and all that and a loophole and nothing illegal. And we got absolutely hammered for every team and every organisation and that mob across the city.
I'll say that's I would have rather put history every day.
Of course. At the end of the day, the silence has been deafening and all. They go to AGMs and all that, and they always go penalty Rangers, or they wanted us flung out of Scottish football and we'll get a European licence after we got granted one many years back legally by the SFA. But they still bring that up, but none of them had the goal to turn around and say to the board at their AGMs, what about these victims, what about this stuff that's going on in the background? But it's been decades now, and nothing was ever said at all at their AGM. They would hammer us. So at the moment they're paying out, and there's still a lot more victims out there to be paid out, and maybe some will want their day in court. We don't know, but at the end of the day, it's out there now, and it's been everybody's known it for many, many years, and it's been sitting there. And I'm glad eventually that people are getting some compensation towards hopefully helping them in some way or another.
Aye. Listen, we'll move on. We'll move on. Listen,
can I just see just before you move on, can I say one more thing? Can I ask you a question? See if the shoe was another fit, would we have been dealt with the deafening silence for the media, the deafening silence for the Scottish Parliament, all these different councils, the SPFL and the Scottish Football Federation, would they have dealt with us the same way?
They're clubs.
They wouldn't have dealt with us the same way, mate. We would have been hammered, we would have been front page news, and we would have been half drawn and quartered. Always remember that. We would have been, and these people have got away with absolute murder, and they're a total disgrace. Every stinking single one of them, by the way. Every one of them. The silence has been deafening for their support. The silence has been deafening for the Parliament.
You missed the point. The face painter not getting his 30 quid's outrageous.
Yeah, exactly. The boy never gets his paper money. Mind that. Front page. The window cleaners. Listen, it's an absolute disgrace. And by the way, listen, shame on them. Absolute shame on every single one of them. And see the boy that chased it, I don't know if I'm allowed to see his name or not, but see the boy that chased it all up and has put it out there. well done, sir. Well done for everything you've done. And I know it's probably not the outcome that you wanted, but well done to that guy. He's hunted them down. He's tried his best, and everything he's done. And well done to the boy.
I'll say it again. We've made errors, we've had tragedies, we've had disasters. There's people died at our stadium, bricks were hot. We got things wrong that people died. The Ibrox disaster, obviously, there was one in 1903 again at Ibrox as well. But we think accidents, and the biggest crime with the lot is the people who have covered that up, knowingly covered that up, because they're responsible for their people getting involved. And it is the biggest crime that's ever happened in Scottish football. Ever.
Can I just say something? See the fact I said 7, if there's people who don't believe me, just take a look at Divers, Kearney, Torbett, McCafferty, Brown, Cullen and King, and that'll end that for anybody that's got any doubts.
And then you could go into all the stories, what they've done and what they were involved in, but this is the place, yeah.
Too close to home, Ox. Too close to home for me.
Yes, I get that, mate. I get that. You know, when somebody talked about when some of the incidents actually happened, I understand what you're saying. But we move on. There was another thing broke yesterday. I just want to run this by you as well. Right, okay. Great idea. Scottish clubs get to the final qualifying and they can get a fixture cancelled to help them qualify for Europe in August. Call me cynical. There's one club this year might have to play a qualifying match automatically if you accept that they're going to win the league. It's never happened before. Am I reading too much in it? Or have I lost the plot? Southside.
It makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Maybe it doesn't make perfect sense.
Probably makes perfect sense. Think tank, innit? This new think tank, innit? Must have been. No, we know where it's coming from, mate. You know where it's coming from. But it's interesting. It's waited all this time and all these years that teams have been competing, and us especially in the latter stages of Europe and that, and even in qualifiers. But we found it hard to try and get a game postponed because you had to ask the other team for their permission and all at one point, didn't you? So, hopefully there's 2 qualifiers for them. That'd be better, wouldn't it?
I know, right, and said we to play 3 games in 10 days before a big match. Sport integrity at its finest.
Yes. I think there's merit in it. If you're trying to help Scottish football and you're sincere about it, and you're trying to help the coefficients in Europe, there's maybe merits in the idea. But it's funny how it's happened this year, isn't it? Funny. Just call me cynical. Stevie?
Listen, mate, I know what they are. I call them for what they are. And nobody. And sometimes I think to myself, am I sounding stupid here because I'm so blatant about the cheating and the jiggery pokery and the supercomputers and the split and the refereeing, and you could go on and on and on and on. It just seems to be, listen, you're totally right. You're totally right in what you're saying. You're totally and utterly 100% right in what you're saying. Everything's to suit one club all the time in this place. One club, one manky club that look what they've done, and everybody treats them with respect and they get what they want and everything else. Unbelievable. It just gets me so angry. And you're talking about Scottish football. Are they no Palestinian?
Well, be careful what you wish for. Aye, right. We move on and we talk about the football and what Southside was on Monday. Stevie, use your take on Saturday's mayhem.
Where do you start? Look, Ox, it's as plain and simple as this. We're lost for way, man. Our defence is like a tea strainer. Let's be honest.
A tea strainer.
Honestly, we're all over the place, man. When was
the last time you used a tease trainer?
I don't know if is it by 9 o'clock yet? When my granny caught her tit in a ringer. There you go.
I was going to ask you outside the same question. We get the same this afternoon. We all were.
Listen, mate. Look, Dundee, just crazy stuff, innit? But let's be honest, the boys. Look, the only thing you can do is give them a bit of praise for fighting back. But my God, man, at one point in that game, you're saying, "What's going on here?" I'll tell you what, we Radvan. I would have been better running up and down that wing than we Radvan. And our goalie, see that pink strip? He wants to get that off and get his orange one on or a yellow one. No, that pink strip, man. That pink strip crucifies my soul. A Rangers goalkeeper in pink. Come on, man.
I think the actual colour is cerise, Stephen.
He's becoming a bit of a liability, Ox. And I hate saying it. There's been games when he's pulled off great saves and whatever. I get that. But he's becoming a liability now. It's like one in every 3 games now he's popping in the net for giving away cheap goals. But our defence is, wow. Our defence is all over the place. And let's be honest, on any other night, Big Cyril had his shooting boots on. He could have easily walked away with a ball.
He could have walked with me with 3 balls.
Aye. It's one of the games, isn't it?
Some people go there.
He should have walked away with more than 1 goal. And like you said, there were times we were a bit all over the place. Listen, they had players that were running off the ball. They worked hard. They had players that were creating chances, and he obviously set out a tactic. But we had a midfield that weren't really functioning in the whole of that game in the first half. Hence the fact he made changes, and Balogun didn't look too clever at the back either. And hence the fact
mate. He looks done, doesn't he?
Listen, he had about 10 days rest, you know. I don't believe he was picked. But surely you would have looked a bit more. And saying that, it might have just been tactical, because the fact that he went to the back 4. And he thought, well, it's coming off, it's no suitor. So, you know.
I get it. I mean, there wasn't one in that back 5 defensively. You've got to have a bit of credit for that strike. But defensively, the 5, plus the goalie, plus Shefty. Yeah. We can't agree, and Salah, he was involved in a lot when he came on, but then that's 7 players. None of them done nothing possibly right defensively the whole game.
Ox, I've got to say, we talk about we need 2 centre-halves. Listen, I'm telling you now, we need a full new back 5. There you go. I'm telling you right now. Honestly, I know some people are going to point about Yefty or Radvan, but listen, they're not convincing me. They definitely are not convincing me.
I've championed Yefty on here, as you know, Steve, yeah?
Yep.
And said he's got potential. He's got a great leap. He's got pace. Undoubtedly pace. He can cross the ball. We saw it when he burst into the team. I remember we were raving about him that night. He came on at Kiev, away from home in the neutral ground. You're saying, just you get down and just put it in the box with that left foot. I don't think he's made a cross since. You know, and he still gets forward. He's still got that pace, but defensively, wow, it's outside.
Aye, it just shows inconsistency. He's still learning, and he's playing in big games, which he wasn't exposed to when he was in Cyprus. So he's probably played more games than what they might have gave him.
More games for us than any other player this season.
Aye,
when he came on at the weekend.
Aye, and Radvan obviously had been out injured, but he had a sort of decent spell, and then he's had a few rocky moments. Listen, all players have it, but get through our whole squad. We're talking about Jack Butland having bad moments, you know, and we're picking out 4 or 5.
A year, mate.
Jeffy's had a few this season as well. You know, people maybe said he should have done better, but he's young. I'm hoping he'll still be here at the start of next season going forward, and he'll grow. He'll adapt to playing these big games, 3 games a week, when they come in. His body getting used to it, building his up, the expectations.
Like he told me the same about Redvan. He's not grew, Eddie.
No, he's not likely to grow much now, is he? But End of the day, I think Ridvan, I think we could probably part ways with and get some cash in from him. He's at the right age, and I'm sure he'll command some interest.
Southside, answer me this then. How can you play so well in the 2 games against them this year? Ridvan, one at right back, one at left back's done all right, and then he puts in that performance was abject.
He'd coupled that one, coupled down the line and that, and straight out the park. But his windy conditions weren't great, but he's probably just turned up Ox, and he's had a bad game that day. And sometimes when we have one player having a bad game, it transpires into a few, which it was and has been over a period of time. Usually when they all sort of fall off, we very rarely say, well, at least 3 or 4 of them played well today, or they were better than the rest. We always go, they're all rotten. As if they all just drop off at the one time. Very seldom we can turn around and say, in the games that we're being beat, even at Ibrox against St Mirren and Motherwell, you go, well, he played well, he was all right. No, the whole team was rotten for most of the games. Lack of attitude, application, no pressure, no granted challenges and getting caught out defensively, daft mistakes, lack of concentration, whatever you want to put it into. The team's not good enough yet, Ox. We're only starting a rebuild. We need to get more players. So these habits and these things will probably always creep in from time to time because we need to get the squad built up with better players in it.
I'm well aware that some of the players are good enough. They've all had moments. When we go through all the moments, and they had players that were stinking at times. You think of what Tavernier's done for us. You think of Butland when he first came into the team, people were championing and how we might have won a goalie. You've got Sterling, who was playing in midfield and is a good runner for him. You've had Suter, who we were bombing about, and was looking as if he was going to be a player that potentially we maybe thought we could have had, or Scottish football maybe thought they had. You've had Balogun, who's been at times excellent for us. You've had Ridvan, who you thought had consistency and maybe potential. Jeffrey, who showed moments, and then collectively we thought they hadn't played professional football. It was awful, mate. I mean, we won the game, and I talked to Fox half air, and we're talking about trying not to be negative, but I think to say that there's a game that you won 4-3, and if we're honest, I think Ogden made the point if they after the game that their third goal, touch and goal, were actually been chopped off. And that's how poor we were. 3-0 down and struggling. All right, we've missed chances, but defensively, and we've not talked about the midfield. I've got a question for you two, gentlemen. Are you ready for it?
Aye, batter away.
You ready, Southside? What's happened to Connor Barron?
Oh, dear. Listen, mate, the only thing I can say is when that boy first came in, he was fit and he was running about and he was miles ahead of everybody running about. But I think as other players have got fitter and more games under everybody's belt, I just think he's fell behind a bit. He's definitely fell. I don't know what's happened to the boy. He's no cracking on at all, is he?
Well, I mean, he had a good game at their place when we won 3-2. Put a lot of effort in, got it right with the second goal. No, the only one. But he had a good game with the piece. Worked hard, worked his socks off. And yeah, but then when you get to these games, mate, he can't go forward. And he seems to be really deep in no midfield. I don't know. I don't know if he's just lost a bit of confidence.
That's exactly what I want to say. Confidence.
He's trapped or I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, Southside.
The whole midfield wasn't great on Saturday, and like I say, we can't even say that he stood out. He passed the ball to Tav, we crossed the ball. I remember that for the own goal. He fed the ball into him, he passed it in midfield, and he threaded it out wide to Tav for the cross for the own goal. But I mean, it wasn't a great performance for him, nor Raskin, nor Diamande. Maybe Dundee had players in there that were winning second balls because we won 8 times. And in saying that, we gave Dessers a good few chances in the first half. Although we didn't dominate it. But we obviously had to feed the ball, Ignaman and off a couple of players probably at times. But you're right. We still created in that, although we weren't dominating the game. We don't seem to control the game. And Dundee, I thought, when I've sort of looked back and thought about it, they worked hard. They had a game plan. They had the boy Mulligan. I thought Mulligan played well against us again. He done well down the right-hand side, and they had the boy that's on loan, Adebumi or something. I think his name is he the number 11. He'd played well, and obviously Murray runs about mad and puts himself about. But I was going up there looking at they'd only won one game in the last 7. They'd beat Dundee United. Apart from that, they'd been on a losing streak. And they gave us problems, but at the end of the day, we found a way of winning. And that's what matters, I've said before, and it's sweeter when you travel and you've got a journey down the road that you've picked up the 3 points.
Aye, I get that. In normal circumstances, you would look at it if it was tight, or if it was this time last year when we went there and drew nothing each, we would have took a horrendous 4-3 victory at the time, Stevie. Yeah, but we're critiquing that performance because we're looking at it, and yeah, you're happy you won the game. Yeah, you're happy you come back for 3-1 down, score 3 goals in the last 15 minutes. They're showing a lot of character and endeavour in the team, making the chances in the last few minutes. But however, the defending and some of the play wasn't great, and whether the tactics didn't work or the message didn't get across, or what happens, Stevie, when we have a break, we come back, instead of being fresher, we look leggier.
Aye, that's correct. That's happened to us a few times when we stop for break, we come back, we don't look as fit. But no, listen, before I was kicked, we would have took a 4-3 victory and 3 points down the road. But I just think it was how the game went. I mean, the game, if that game could have finished 7 each. That's they hit the post, they missed a couple of shots, they got a goal chopped off, and if Big Desert has his boots on, he could have had a hat trick. That game could have ended up 7 each. That's how crazy that game was. But listen, we just look like a team sometimes. I mean, after beating Celtic and going through the next round of Europa, you think a wee bit of confidence is building. We just looked a team short of confidence. It was as if they'd never played together. We couldn't tackle, we couldn't pass, we couldn't do the simple things. We were woeful all the part in the first half. Woeful. Only for a deflected goal, it gave us a wee lifeline getting into the second half. We were all over the place. All over the place, and I agree with what Southside saying. Yes, we do know we're on a rebuild. We know we're going to get games where things are going to get a wee bit hairy, but we were absolute woeful. I mean, Ridvan went across the ball twice and hit the corner flag twice. He couldn't tackle, he couldn't do nothing. You're saying, what is he doing in that? Get him off that park. No, if I didn't know any better, I'd say the bookie line on. For me, the team just looked as if that was the first time ever they played together, and they looked shell-shocked. I mean, we were 2-0 down, and it was just every time Dundee went down the park, they looked as if they were going to score. And let's be honest, our big guy at the back there, Balogun, we've got him at the wrong time. If we had him 10 years ago, that's what you're looking for. The big man gets the club and everything, but he's had a rest and come back and he still looks slow. There's an old woman passed him with a pram.
I think it was a shopping trolley, Stevie, if I'm being honest.
And you don't want...
We better get his phone lines opened,
I get the trips in, aye.
Aye.
Really?
Southside?
Yep, aye, definitely.
All
Get
right.
the lines open. Let's hear, get some callers in.
Yes, let's hear from East.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
How are you, Southside? I never really had a chance. We were that busy on Monday night. I never really had a chance to praise your efforts at the weekend in the Southside Super 6.
Aye, 3 goals we get beat, wasn't it?
Aye, you've done a bad effort, mate.
I know what's coming now, I know what's coming.
However,
No.
There's two ways.
Brutality, Stevie. This is just brutality.
There's two ways we can do this.
Why? What way would that be?
I can tell the story, which always will be true, because you know me, I'm like George Washington, cannot tell a lie.
You'll dress up.
Oh, you can tell the truth.
There's no truth about it.
It's the truth.
Aye, there is a truth. I done 6 teams, as you know. I showed all Bear the proof, obviously.
Oh, we know all that. It's all factual. It's all been.
Oh, that's all right then. I done it, but then I noticed there was a team kicking off at 12:30, and I hate the 12:30 kick-offs, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the coupon has been beat, and then you've took great delight in absolutely slaughtering me for it.
I might have mentioned it once or twice, yes.
Yeah, so I decided not to go with the 6. I was quite happy to go with my 2.5 goals, is what I was actually going to do anyway.
And just for the listeners, what happened to these 6?
It stoated. and I had another line up and all. I didn't realise that Leeds had conceded a goal in the 98th minute. And I had 2 up, to be honest. But no, the main line was the 2.5 goals is what I'd wanted today, and it didn't happen. But I ended
Close,
up
but no cigar.
Ended up with another line up with a 12:30 kick-off. Aye, correct.
Yes. There you go, Stevie.
Listen, I'll leave you to it. I wouldn't even know how to put a line on. I'm not a bookies man at all.
Yes, bit of fun, mate. It's only a bit of fun. Listen, there's a lot we touched on, and obviously the management team that have come in, they've got a response out the team, and away from home, we went to, I think I said it, we went to Kilmarnock where we dropped 2 points. We went to Dundee where we dropped 2 points. No, we get beat at Kilmarnock, sorry. At the start of the season. 3 points. We went to Dundee where we dropped 2 points earlier on. Yeah, that's 5 points. We went to their place where we dropped 3. And we've took 8 points that we never took at the start of the season. We went to Fenerbahce and won. What they've got to do is sort out the performance at Ibrox at the weekend, Southside.
Aye, we've done well. You talk about just the away games there, you talk about the points we dropped. Aye, the last few away games, we've turned the form round. So home form has changed. We were doing all right, and we've reversed it. But listen, I don't know where I was putting it down to the fact that we've done well in the games up until the Dundee game. The away from home performances have looked a bit better. That just looked a bit of chaos. And I don't know whether to blame the players or look at the management team and how they set us up and how Dundee managed to hit us on the break and get goals and create chances. Or it was just the players just didn't perform on the day, which we know some of the midfield didn't. But it was strange, and then to change it, I know you change it to try and get a reaction, but you shouldn't have to. So I think the way formed and now the way we've been going, it was great to come back and show the resilience and get the result. But we need to look for home form to be good and the away form to maybe stop conceding these goals. We're conceding a lot of goals at the moment, and that's an issue that we need to try and curb. And how we do that will be how we set out the defence going forward. Because I don't expect Balogun to maybe win the team in Saturday. I don't think he'll pick him, so there might be a change or two, I think, for the weekend going forward. Ops.
I think you might be right.
Probably, Stevie. You might. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but I mean, he maybe even give NCL a chance if he's playing a back 3. There's a chance he might play him.
I think he will. I think that's exactly what he'll do. He'll give the big in his game at Ibrox, and you probably keep Balogun for Aberdeen away the following Sunday. And in between that, we've got Bilbao, haven't we? So might keep up for that. But anyway, that's what I think will happen anyway. Is the bulging back yet?
I'm here, boys, I'm here.
I thought you were away with 2 pair of pants on because we were talking about that scandal.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. Not at all. My conscience is clear.
Your conscience is never clear, boy.
I thought he was doing a bridge, man.
No, not at all. Busy man. You know what it's like. No. I can sleep easy at night. You know? You know me. Angel with dirty faces. Where were we? Listen, the centre half she's mentioned there, we assume that Shooter plays. And then it's another. Would you go with Sterling again? If he's gone with a 4, what are you thinking, Southside? Do you think they'll go with a 4 at Ibrox?
I think he'll stick to the system that he's been doing, and I think he'll try and get us forward with the 2 fullbacks. I think he'll play a back 3. I think that's the way he's sort of going to go when it's working. It's worked in the most of the games. It wasn't working at Dundee, so I think he'll set it out and he'll just keep it, just to keep the continuity. Now we've got Bilbao, which he might keep that in place. And I think if he's doing that, he'll probably keep it in place for Hibs, and even in the return game before we go to Bilbao, we play Aberdeen, and I think he'll stick to similar. So I think it will be the 3 at the back box. I think he'll go forward with it at the moment. I don't think he'll start with a 4 against Hibs.
Stevie?
Listen, my wingman could be right, but something's telling me he's going to go for a 4. That's at Ibrox Day. You're thinking they'd probably go for a 3 and go all out and just go for it. You know what I mean? But I think I don't know if you heard about what I was saying, Ox, about Insiala. I think he might be getting a game.
I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. I think they would maybe try and get him more minutes. But let's be honest. If you compare the boys' performance up there, I think it was his debut or maybe his first start. His performance, I know he had a couple of moments, you know, I've got to be fair, and it was the right thing to do to pull the boy out the team. I think the fact that he came on, he's come on the last couple of games, you know. But we'll see. But I think you might see Proper back with Suter. I don't know why. There's, but either that or Proper's completely out of the picture. But we've ended up with a real issue in that position. We've got a guy who's old that picks up knocks because he gives you everything you've got. You've got John Suter, who's turned into a bedrock, who's had his moments with injuries, but this season on the pace he's been our best defender. We've got Proper, who's not been great at times, had some excellent games and some big games as well, but consistently not been great. You've had Sterling, who I've championed on here. I don't think he's a centre-half Southside, if I'm honest.
No. I would think if he was changing it and he was taking Balogun out, he's going to play Proper. I think Proper would maybe come in. If you look at Hibs, they're no a massive height in their team, really. I'm just trying to think through their team there. They've got the big boy Miller that plays right back sometimes, and they've got that Rocky Bashira plays centre back. But I don't think they're really big and tall, like for set pieces and stuff. I know they've got Dwight Gale that's decent in there and that, but and obviously that boy Boyle in it causes you problems with his pace if you let him get in behind. Their midfield's not too bad. They've got a couple of decent players, but I just think we'll maybe go the 3-5. Well, with the 2 wingers pushed up, obviously, as much as we can, and play the 3 across the back. I just get a feeling he'll stick to that type of system, just because these next game's coming up. And I think that the team's more comfortable, and if you're trying to get Conor Barron into the team, should his performances pick up, then it allows them to play him and Raskin and Diamandi, who on the whole have been pretty good in the games leading up to Dundee. Obviously Czerny's got a chance of coming back into the team and all, the wide right, so I think it probably suits us maybe in that system at the moment. So it's just my feeling at the moment.
Aye, well, if that's your system, it's going to be interesting, you know. And where do you play as a wing back in Ibrox? If you brought Tierney back, do you play him in that position? Does it have to be Tava Sterling if you're trying to be offensive? You know, I know Tierney's not got a defensive bone in his body, but you've got the cover there for midfield. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. But I mean, if you were taking Saturday's game in isolation, Stevie, none of the defenders on the park are getting back on it again, are they?
No, definitely no. No if you're going before him, no. But listen, see, you're talking about the boy Tierney. He's got to get minutes in his legs. We've got a few big games coming up, and we're missing Dundee there. He needs to get some sort of half anyway to get back up to speed for these games coming. So I think you'll see Tierney back in the team on Saturday.
Well, if it was a hamstring tweak, and there's any doubt, you would maybe no play him in game as long as you can for the game against Bilbao. If it's completely disappeared, I don't disagree with you, Southside.
Even a half.
Aye, I think if he's got a chance to get a bit of game time and the strain wasn't too bad, then aye. If other than that, then you'd expect him to miss till the Thursday at Ibrox, which should hopefully have cleared up by then. That's what I think logic would be. I've got a couple of options. Danilo, you know, he can only influence wee bits of the game and set up, assisted Tav and pulled away the defender that opened up the pass for Raskin into Lawrence. But in the last few games, in the magnitude of the games, he wasn't involved. But Hibs at Ibrox, without maybe making too many changes, he might have a part to play in the game. And I'm hoping at some point we might know because of the European fixtures coming up, but you'd like to think Cortez will get a chance at some point and go in the park, even if you're making a sub for Tierney, if he started and gave him a bit of time, or you started with one of them or get one of them on the park, get him on the park at some point, let's see, get him some game time and let's see if we can get it out of him. But apart from that, I think the squad's pretty settled in what it's going to be at the moment, as long as they're all injury free. I'd expect Bezrami probably to be on the bench. I'd expect Tom Lawrence to be back on the bench and things like that. So I think the squad in the pool that we've been starting with is more or less settled, and it's just about tweaking one or two players in either position, I think, Box.
Aye. I'm very interested to see where it goes. Right, we're building up to the tune. Any preference tonight, Southside? Any preference?
No, there's been one or two requests on YouTube. I'm sure the techie team will come up with a good one. But no, I don't know. Usually they're all right, aren't they?
What about you, Stephen? You're a musical correspondent. You're the man with the ear in this group.
I think we should play one for our friends at the east end of the city. There you go.
All right, okay. I haven't really thought about that. Aye. I see what
they usually turn off when the tune comes on. You see where the wee lights disappear.
Aye.
Then they come back on after about 5 minutes.
Aye.
I want to ask this a question.
Can I just say to Stephen, I know you're putting a request in, pal, but I don't think that'll be played tonight. I'll just give you that in advance. We'll maybe play it for you tomorrow night or something. I'll put it forward. But Stephen, I don't think that one will get played tonight, pal, although thanks for your request.
Can you put what it was in the chat, mate, so I can have a giggle as well?
Oh no, it's been played on here a few times. You know.
Can I ask you the question then before we go to the tune? And obviously it would be great if some listeners come on and gave us their point. I've said it on here, there must be dozens of times now, no hundreds of times. Cyril Dessers is the biggest enigma I've known in my life watching Rangers. And if you can think of anybody else that matches him or come close to him, please tell me. Because he just does some wonderful things and does some great things, and then he frustrates you so much. I've never known anybody like it. Honestly, I haven't.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
I fought the man's corner, right? When the chips were done, I told everybody, I told the whole of Scotland, don't worry, the big man's going to come good. And he started hitting a bit of form, and I thought, I told yous. And then he dipped again. You're totally right. A big man, he mesmerises you. But, I mean, it's any other night there at Dundee, he's got the ball under his arm walking off the park with his shooting boots on. Think of that guy's numbers, Ox. What is exactly his numbers in here for this season? And
45 goals he's got in 100 games, mate.
Right, and think about the certs he's missed. Now, think how many goals he should have. Me, definitely, I want to keep him, but I want another striker to play with him. But we need another one. Danilo's not the answer. So for me, if you get rid of Danilo and get a top-class striker as a number one striker, I would be right happy with Big Cyril being the number two, put it that way. But whether he would stay for to be a number two is another thing. Or how can we not play the two of them together, especially with our home ground?
Southside.
I'm just laughing at these requests on YouTube, man. It's usually Rangers songs we play, right? But I don't know if we can do ZZ Top now and again or things like that, right? Well, we can put it to the techie team. Pink Floyd or something, right? Okay, I get the picture. Right, sorry about that. Where are we? Man, this is mental. At least they're enjoying the show, isn't it? They're trying to put in some music requests.
Oh, well, it proves at least two people are listening to this.
Aye, so there you go, techie team. In the future, or just to say, Fox's afternight is solely on Old School Blue. He's the man with the tunes and the man that's on the background tonight. But I'm sure if he listens in, I'm sure he'll know ZZ Top and that. That's some of the requests for the future. Right, sorry, where were we? Post the plot now. Dessers. I told you, plenty of character, mate. You can play for Rangers. He's got the mental attitude you've got to have for being booed on and off in the Rangers jersey, and some of the criticisms that some of us on here have been harsh on him at times as well, and sometimes rightly so. But he keeps bouncing back. He keeps putting himself, gets a chances, gets a positions, and he'll score. Should have scored more on Saturday, but he's back to sort of scoring again. Like you say, he could have a hat-trick in Europe if it wasn't for VAR. So, aye, he's an ignorant. 45 goals, 61 assists and goals, 16 assists, 61 goal contributions in 100 games. And as you said, he went in a few spells without scoring and being sub. But I think he'll get attention in the summer, and I think we should cash in and sell him and hope.
Is that because it's perfect? 2 years to go, his age, you don't wait a year.
You've probably got to listen. I understand he could go in again and bang another 15 to 20 goals or get the 25 goal mark next season. But then he's doing a year left in his contract at that age. And I think we're probably looking for somebody to fill his boots and get 25 goals a season. So whether it's going to Bignam man going forward or any new striker that we're going to buy, Danilo's still there. But apart from that, we need to get a goal scorer. And there's really boy looks to be no too bad, and he looks quite decent. But whether we get down that road or no, I don't know. But I think we'll go. I think Dessers will go. And listen, I wish him all the best if he does go. Listen, he's always got a smile on his face, and he plays 100% for the team, mate. All
right. Listen, gentlemen, get yourself in mute, because we're going to have Southside's Tunie. Take it away, Old School Boy.
I hear the takes are cheating. I hear they run the GCC. I hear the titles are tainted. And I hear they pay the SFA. Because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew, Big Jock knew. I hear they try to hide the story. I hear to this day they still deny. I hear it's swept beneath the carpet. We all know the Tigs were born a lie, because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew Big Jock knew. Tell your story, then maybe you'll sleep at night. Why don't they pay the victims money? But then I don't suppose that's right, because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew Big Jock knew, because we're bits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew Big Jock knew.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Oh, brilliant.
Are you doing a bit of line dancing there, Stevie?
Oh, my hands, I've been trying to write the words down. My fingers are a cramp here. That's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, boys. Well done, the techie team. We all knew Big Jock knew.
I could just see you two with your Stetsons on doing the line dance to that one.
Oh, fantastic, man.
Is there any truth that the rumour I heard that you were barred for the Grand Old Opry, Southside?
Aye. Didn't tell me the gun hadn't to be loaded.
You're out of cap, Stevie. You're out of cap.
No, he's bad because he never had a licence for his shotgun.
See when I scooshed the water out it, man, it was shocked him, so it did.
Oh, that water could kill you.
I know water, that was a crime, that. I mean, I scooshed the water that night.
I've organised the next Rangers Radio night out, mate. I'm looking forward to it. That Axtron, we're going to have a go at that. That was quite good fun, didn't it?
Aye, blindfolded. All Bears wanted. All Bears quite happy to do it blindfolded.
AK can stand in front of a board with an apple and we'll see how it goes.
Here, you're talking about a Scottish champion here. Man's a Scottish champion, so he is.
I believe so.
You still put an apple in his seed if you want, but a pineapple.
One of Burnbank's finest. One of Burnbank's finest. That's all I'm going to say.
He's still celebrating, I believe.
No, he's pulled a Matondo, mate.
Is he?
He's pulled a Matondo. Sick note.
Dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. Anyway, I think we've been joined by David. Evening, David.
How's it going, lads?
Good, mate. What's on your mind?
He's no one to complain about the tune, is he?
Oh, are you kidding? By the way, I was absolutely killing myself when I see some of the comments that YouTube, man. For the tune. Aye, well, it's a Rangers show. And I'm only going to spend a minute on this because I know we need to tread carefully. And if I'm out of order or whatever, you can cut us off. But I think it's very important that people need to realise this lot for the other side of the city are coming away with things now as if, oh, what an incredible gesture for that for Celtic, coming out. The big problem is, and the real big problem is, they're too busy concentrating on Rangers' finances. They're too busy concentrating on everything else other than the real proper problem in Scottish football, and arguably the biggest scandal in European football.
Here, here.
They've now been forced, they've been dragged kicking and screaming to having to pay out a few quid. And do you know what? It really is only a few quid compared to what they folk have to get through every single day. So I think it's very important, because there's too much of this now. If you phone up Clyde One, you want to talk about, can I go and speak about that? But you'll be able to talk about the Rangers' big tax cases and all that, and all these financial experts. Well, do you know what? They can say whatever they want. It's the biggest scandal in football for years and years and years and years. So I just wanted to get that off my chest before we go on about the Bears.
David, well said, sir. And can I just say to you, Radio Clyde, that's Celtic's partners. That's how you're not allowed to talk about it.
Better believe it, mate. But it's important that we have channels like this. And I know it can a bit kind of, we're treading in eggshells at times. But who else is going to do it? We're not things on here.
Here. And can I tell you something else, David? Sorry for butting in, boys.
Mate,
there's not enough Rangers pods. There's not enough Rangers channels talking about it. Because see, if the shoe was another fit, every single one of theirs would be talking about it. And they wouldn't care what trouble they get into.
Aye, you better believe it. And as I said, for years and years and years, they're too busy talking about Rangers and, then you get the occasional, what a disgrace, marching down streets and whatever. See all that? That's irrelevant when it comes to kids getting interfered with. And for years and years and years, by the way. And now they've been dragged, kicking and screaming, and have to pay out a seven figure fee. Now listen, that's a drop in the ocean, but hopefully there's more to come. We're not interested in Celtic going out the game. We're only interested in them getting their just desserts and getting told it was wrong and rightfully wrong. We get demoted to the lowest echelons of Scottish football for some chance that they come in, and we kept our dignity all the way up. These now they're getting praised because they're paying this out. Come on, who's kidding who here?
The placements in the media, David. Placements in the media.
You better
been
believe
working on it for a long time, mate.
Oh,
a long time.
Anyway, we'll crack on with the old Bears. So,
yes, mate. Floor's yours.
Well, we'll be talking about tonight in the Bears 5 years. Sorry, this is a story.
We were actually talking. We started off talking about Stevie's lack of grub when he's getting photographs of people. We then went on to Southside Super 6, how he can't be in the turn when he gets a turn. What else have we talked about? Anything else?
This is after night, isn't it? This is the top show of the night, isn't it?
We talked about our defence.
I heard he's talking about Dessers.
But the last subject was Cyril Dessers. And I'll ask you a simple question, right? Aye. If a decent offer comes in this summer, are you sticking or are you twisting?
I think I've been on here a number of times about Big Dessers. I get that he's a great big try and he puts his cell into it. But as I said the other night, and I've said it for a long time, Dessers can't be trusted. He simply can't be trusted. I agreed with you the other night, Box. I think it was yourself that said, and his stock will never be higher come this summer, because even if he stays on next season, he's not going to get the same amount of games, I wouldn't imagine. My problem is with Dessers, he just doesn't. I mean, I said at the time, even when we lost the league, when Clermont first came in, and I thought we should get Shankland in the door, and a lot of folk laughed at that. But my point was, we played Motherwell at home. He missed 5 sitters that day. We could beat 2-1. We then went up to Dundee. He's got a snip inside the 6-yard box. With about 5 minutes to go to put us 2-1 up. We end up losing that game. And as I said that night as well, it's no all on Dessers, but the big thing is, you're number 9. You have to be able to rely on him. I think if I asked every one of you guys individually now, with Cyril Dessers going through and goal in a massive game at Parkhead or whatever, would you fancy him to stick it away? that's the difference. Igaman's been off his game, but the other night he gets one chance, one goal, boom, right into the tap bin at Parkhead. You need guys like this. Dessers has done a good job with Rangers. I know people are saying you have to, you have to replace that 25 goals to 30 goals. My argument would be, I'm not kidding, he should have had 50 goals. And it sounds crazy.
But the counter argument in that is he must be doing something right when he's getting all these chances. Another player might not make the runs and not get the chances. He might finish more chances, but you've got to get them. It's bizarre, mate. It's bizarre.
I agree with you, Rocks. But for instance, there was a game against, is it Fraserburgh? And he missed a chance at the back post, and you're going, oh, surely no. And he gets a hat-trick. Now, that gets on to Dessers' record as a hat-trick. Now, we know it's a hat-trick, and, you've got to put the ball in the back of the net. But I couldn't sit comfortable knowing that Dessers is your number 9 next season and going to win Rangers a league title. I just don't see it happening. I think he's done a good shift for Rangers, but I think it's time to cut your losses with him. We need an upgrade. I was a fan of Danilo. He only came on the other night and could have, but Danilo's not done it either. Igaman, I'm a huge fan of. But we need players here that you can hang your hat on. You can go into a game and go, do you know what? I believe in that boy. Guys like like, for instance, the other night again, I was saying about, I know I'm ranting on here, but I remember I was saying the other night about Diamande at times, and he was driving me mental because I know the quality he's got, and he's getting the ball away here. You can't rely on these moments, one moment every so often. You've got to do this consistently, and you need consistency. You need somebody, you give him a chance and he sticks 1 out of 3 away or whatever. You can't be going to Dundee, and I know we're all delighted with a win, but really, Dessers is through and goal. He's got either side of the post Hema, and every one of them's right down the keeper's throat again. And it's time and time and time again.
South side.
Teams just showed a lot of inconsistencies. You're right, he ran through, was it last season or something, against them at Parkhead, and they didn't even get a shot off. But that's Dessers for you. But he's come on a bit since then. The team's just been inconsistent, David. That's just the fact that it's no built to compete in all these games, and at times we struggle, and players go off for them and stuff. So it's really down to the squad capacity. And when we've not got our strongest 11 out there, or our strongest 12, 13 players that are fit and available, for instance, we're going into Europe and we're -2 players straight away, Suter and Diamande, that help the team. We're an integral part of the team at times. Diamande's been good in Europe. He's not been so good in the league at times, but he's been good in Europe. Suter's had some good games in Europe and been pretty steady at times in the league. So that's what we're up against, and sometimes we don't have the quality to replace it. So we have to get a bigger squad, David, going forward, and hopefully we'll have a good result on Saturday at Ibrox. We're at home, but as you know, the results have been poor. So we need to rectify that. And they're on 15 games in the league undefeated. So it'll be a hard game, but we've got to get players. You're hoping that we pick the 11, and then the subs that come on will have a good game and they stand up and be counted, because that's what's going to happen on Saturday. 4 massive games coming up. So we need all the players to be available. We know in the first leg of Europe we're going to be -2, but we'll just have to go on, mate, David, as we always do.
Aye. Dessers, Stevie, you're as you said, I think I would definitely sell him, and it's nothing against the big man at all. I think if you've got a player that's over 30 with 2 years in the contract and you get an offer, I'm not saying he's my biggest earner, but a hefty earner, and we're looking to get somebody in who is maybe more consistent than Dessers. Listen, whether he'll score or get the amount of chances that Dessers has got, Stevie, is up for debate, because the amount of chances he gets is unbelievable.
It's unreal. I think David put it to us in a way where you've got to say, if Dessers is through 1-on-1 with a goalie, is he got to be a sticker to score it? Well, you can't answer that, can you? You just can't answer that. So that tells you. But look, guys, I've got to say, even though he's missed a barrel load, and we know the guy has, when you look at his numbers are still no bad. I think he would be a good understudy for it. I mean, we get a main striker. I think Dessers would be a good striker to come on the part, or even to play up front with that particular striker. It would, for me, Ox, it depends how much you want to sell him for. I mean, I wouldn't be letting a guy go as cheap just because he's age and all the rest of it, you know, and the way we do our business. But it would just depend to me on how much we're going to get for the guy. I would rather keep him if he's banging in 25 to 30 goals a season. I would rather keep it banging and make him an under good and sign a top class striker. It is going to do the damage, but have him there. If either play along with him, depending on what way you're going to put the team out, or come on as a sub. I think it'd be a good sub to come on and maybe win you a game. Biggins, you're totally right. He is an enigma. I mean, look at that goal in Betis. The guy's still sliding along the road, and then he sticks it through the keeper's legs, and you've gone, wow, unbelievable, man. Totally unbelievable. And then he gets chances like the other night, as David says. Three chances hit right at the keeper. More or less just blasted, but hit right at the keeper. I mean, he should be tucking more of them away. But look, it is what it is. But I just think sometimes when you know a guy's doing it, I mean, he is doing it. Look at the goal he scored up at Dundee United. For that cute angle, he popped it right in the top corner. He's just unbelievable. Then there's tap-ins and he'll miss them. I think it was against the French mob. He had a tap-in right in front of goal and he hit it by the post. Nice, I think it was. But listen, it is what it is, guys. But I wouldn't let the big guy go for peanuts.
We won 4-1 that night and we all came in after the show. We were all stunned with Dessers miss.
I know, aye.
You know,
yep, that's all right.
Aye,
He doesn't score many tap-ins, but does he?
No, you don't see him sliding into the back post and putting it over the line or a 2-yard finish.
He's got a couple. Remember, I think Taff had a shot. He blasted it, and I think he stuck his foot out about 3 yards out at Ibrox and directed it in the net. But he doesn't tend to score the goals like you say, running across the front post or sliding in or running about the 6-yard box penalty spot. He's there. He's finishing. He's more getting the ball and running onto it or outside the box picking it up or whatever like that. He's very seldom he scores many goals inside the box. That type of player, you know what I'm talking about?
Aye. I mean, he's scored goals, great goals. The Betis goal, he's had some great finishes. Remember the one at Easter Road when he gave everybody eyes, David, and he just rolled it in. You know, he's shown quality at times, and then you go back to the Nice one, you know, but I remember Morelos having a similar miss at Somerset Park. Do you remember that miss? Morelos' miss at Somerset Park. You know?
So, some of the ones with Dessers at times, and Southside's right there.
Yes, carry on, Dave.
He doesn't actually score. I just got a phone call through. I don't know if that came through to you. Sorry. He doesn't score the kind of tap-ins, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, he's getting himself into the great positions the other day. The people say, I don't know, I mean, I had a couple of guys going, aye, but, you know, the keeper's pot off a couple of oldies. Well, see, for me, no, really. The Agaman was off his game for about 20 minutes, and then he started to drop my shoulder, inviting the ball in, and just that lovely wee turn. And the amount of time, he must have put Dessers through about 4 times. If you're 4 times through the goalkeeper, and you constantly keep hitting him, as Stevie says, it's just he'd done smash right into keeper. Pick a corner. It sounds like I'm picking on him, but I just want the best for Rangers, and I don't believe you can't win league titles with Dessers as your number 9. I know what Stevie's saying, possibly as a backup. I wouldn't be convinced with that either, because I don't think he would want that. Plus, I don't think he's I think at this particular time, I think we could get a couple of million. See if somebody come in tomorrow, for £2 million for Dessers, I would be over the moon with that. I don't know what you think about that, but I would be absolutely delighted with that. He's done his job with Rangers, but £2 million.
I think he's worth £2 million.
Eh?
I'm just saying, David, I think he's worth more than £2 million.
Well, I get that, Stevie. I know. I do get that.
He's playing in Europe. He's doing the business in Europe, mate. He's scoring goals in Europe.
The goal at Old Trafford. The goal at Old Trafford.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Aye. He's worth more than £2 million, mate. Trust me. And that's what the argument is with me, David. No way, man, letting that big Cyril go for £2 million. I would rather keep him there as an understudy. Whether he wanted to be an understudy or no is another thing. But the bottom line is his numbers are telling you he's worth more than £2 million.
I just think, I get what you're saying.
If he came in with 5, I'd be running him out the door, you know. That's the difference, you know.
I know what's up you're saying there, Stevie, because it's difficult to kind of weigh that up, you know, with him. You're going, look at his numbers and whatever.
Aye.
Spock said the other day, his stock's not going to be any higher now.
No.
And Mark words, see next season, if Dessers again with Rangers next season, we'll still be having the same complaints. He's not going to get any better. He's not going to get any faster. He's still going to let you down in big moments. We need players that can, you know, give them a chance and stick it away. And he's done a great job with Rangers. I mean, look at numbers, 40-odd goals. But as I say, my argument would be he should have more. And then again, the counter argument is he's getting into that position. I don't know. If we got offered $2 million for Dessers in the summer, I would genuinely, in my opinion, I'd bite the horn off him.
I think his age. I'm guessing that, and I don't know that it'll be Dessers will be on $1 million plus in wages. Just round about that, I'm guessing. So if he's got 2 years left of his contract, and if you split the difference between you two, you've got £5 million in your budget because you've freed up some more wages. His numbers are good. You can't argue with his numbers. Southside, 45 goals, 16 assists, 100 games for Rangers. It's up there.
Aye, he's missed. I was going to say to David, I'll cut his horns off now so he doesn't get the $2 million. We'll get more than that, David. Honestly, I think if he becomes available, I think we'll get more than £2 million from me, to be perfectly honest. I believe.
Can I just jump in? Look at what they signed there for £9 million, the big boy Aida. £9 million.
Aye.
And we wanted Dessers away for $2 million. Come on, man. Come on. Listen, give the big boy, cut the big boy a bit of slack here. I'm no falling out with anybody. I'm not arguing with anybody. I can see everybody's side of the coin. But come on, when they're paying £9 million for Aida, look at Dessers. Come on, and we're wanting to give him away for £2 million.
Can I come in here, lad? Stevie, you're spot on about the Canada thing. I mean, I'm interested in that, Ian, because he's just a cart horse. They spent that. That's just up to them. But my issue is that Dessers hadn't get that long in his, his contract. I think maybe a bit. If we'd have went back even after the Aberdeen game this season, we're up at Pittodrie and we watched Dessers. And I'm not kidding. I think every one of us knew that. Every one of us were going, what is he doing here? So the fact that he scored again, and full credit to Dessers. I'm no. All I want the exact same as you guys want. Rangers football to win games of football. Whether it's Dessers scores it, my granny scores it, or whoever scores it, I just want Rangers to win.
How old is your granny, David?
Well, the way Yilmaz is playing, she might get a game for him.
Just wondered, just for Southside.
She's a left back, aye. She kicks with her left foot. She's a left back, aye. Listen, Dessers is. We know what he's did. We know what he is, what he does, and what he can do from time to time in his moments. But listen, we were looking at Dessers now, for instance, on our team, and he had scored, had the goals that he had in that league, and had been scoring in Europe. We wouldn't get him for £2 million. I don't think, no. I think somebody will come in and will be between the 4 and the 5 mark. I believe round about that. 3.5 at the least. But I think you'll be looking at 4 or 5, and I think somebody will come in somewhere from him in the summer. And I think he'll go, because I don't think he's the type of player that would want to sit on the bench and know always play. So I think he's going to be too chuffed at that. It's the type of person I think he is, and I think he showed, although he'd done it when he was dropped, and come on and showed the professionalism, didn't really sulk. I think there's only one game this year where he took off, I think, at half time, and I think rightly so, and he was deplorable that day at Ibrox. Can't remember who we played, but he was really bad. But then again, it might have been we didn't service him properly, didn't get the balls down the channels and create chances for him, but he was just hopeless the whole first half, and I think he took off. But apart from that, his attitude and application's always been right for me. He can handle the pressure of playing for Rangers. He just can miss his goals you'd expect him to score, or strikers take from time to time. Listen, Harlan ran through the other day. I watched him against Bournemouth. He ran through 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper and put the bar. It happens. Do you know what I mean? I expected him to score it when he ran through. You think he'll score this, but he didn't. So there's no comparison in the player, obviously, but I'm just saying strikers miss chances. But I believe, David, will get more than like you believe we will get. If you're right, I'll stand and say, fine, you were correct. But I think, honestly, we'll get more than the £2 million that you're thinking you would take.
I'm sure we'll talk about Cyril Dessers again, David, because that's the kind of individual he is.
Look, he just divides everybody, doesn't he? All we want to see is just put the ball into the back of the net. I mean, we're all the same. When that ball goes into the back of the net in 91 or 92 minutes at Danes Park, we're jumping about daft, everyone is.
Yeah, right.
This is all we're interested in. We just want to see him get the ball on your back. Going forward, as I said the other night as well, I was talking to a couple of mates of mine's, right good blue noses, and I was kind of ranting and raving about the defence. And then I said to them, I says, wait a minute here, I says, and this is only about an hour after the game, I says, do you know, I'll leave that to next week, talking about the defence, because you have to enjoy them moments. See the late winners, you have to enjoy them, regardless, because we would have a lot of sickness over the years with late winners against us. So you have to enjoy them, and you have to, party about it. You can't sit. All we want to do is see Rangers win. Dessers, I would be absolutely stunned if we get 4 or 5 million for Dessers. And that's not to say that I'm right and anybody else is wrong. That's just people's opinion. So he just defies opinion, doesn't he, big man? But we just want to see him score. We're all Rangers men at the end of the day. We just want to see Rangers win games of football. It's as simple as that.
Yep. All right, we're moving on with the show. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
Can I ask David a question?
Yes.
David, do you think we need a new goalie?
Well, I was on here, Stevie, the other night, and I've always stuck up for Butland. I like Butland. But my argument was, he had a terrible defence in front of him and whatever they carry on with some of the folk he had in front of him. But to me, again, that the other night at Dens Park, that's nothing to do with the defence in front of you. That's just a howler. Any argument. I'd really like Jack Butland, right? But I think if he's going to start, this is every 3 or 4 weeks now, Stevie. We're getting this for Jack Butland.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's one in every 3 games now, but he's going to go away.
It's a huge, huge concern, and it's always. I just want a keeper to just have. I know he done the penalty shoot at Fenerbahce, and he did a great save at Parkhead, Piggery against that boy in the middle of the park into the tap bin. But I just want sevens for Jack Butland all the time, and just nice, cool and calm. I don't think we're helping him out, by the way, by constantly playing the ball on his feet. because I think we all know he's not great with the ball at his feet, so why do it? It's incredible to me sometimes we put him under pressure. That being said, if he's not going to, he's going down the road here now that he's throwing them in every few weeks. And as I say, that goal the other night, it's not to do with the defence. It's just
Manchester punching the ball into the net.
Correct. And by the way, this somebody Manchester, he pulled off a good few saves. But see, at the end of the day, he's a keeper for Glasgow Rangers. You don't have any faults. You can't. If you make 3 worldies and then you throw one at the back of the net, it takes that all away. You've got to be consistent. You've got to, and it just looks. I don't know, and I'm not convinced with Liam Kelly either. I think Liam Kelly's really good, but he bought his feet, by the way. But I just think we need maybe a command and see if Butland's going to do this every few weeks. Then we have to be brutal about this. We need a new keeper. It's as simple as that. If you can't handle the pressure, then it's tough. It's a tough gig playing at Ibrox.
Aye. My opinion on mate is he's a nice guy and that, but he's a Rangers keeper. He needs to really get his finger out, because he's slowly but surely losing our faith, and he's not breeding any confidence in the defence when you're punching balls into the net and dropping balls at people's feet. You're definitely not doing the defence. I know the defence is like these training, as I said earlier on, but it starts with him. And if he keeps dropping balls and getting really 1 in 3 games, you're saying your positioning was terrible there, or you never came out. There's always something a game with him. There's an incident in every game now where you're going, wow, what was he doing there? But 2 things that really ripped my knitting about him. He's lost his confidence. He used to get rid of that pink strip. See that pink Ranger strip? I've never seen anything like that in my life. Who came up with that?
You've also got Balbert's point of view. He thinks his shorts are too tight. South side, I've never really noticed. I don't look too much closer as Albert.
Listen, he should be the goalkeeper we thought we might have been getting. Maybe prone to the odd mistake. Goalkeeper can maybe make a mistake now and again. It's just there's been quite a few this year, and I hope more than I've seen a good few number of goalkeepers at Rangers, but in his time, more or less in a full season, I've not seen a goalkeeper in the last good while make as many errors as he has. Whether it's, I heard his interview last week. I thought, I'm a top goalkeeper. Never heard a goalkeeper get interviewed and telling he's a top goalkeeper. So that surprised me. So he's obviously got an ego and thinks he is a top goalkeeper. But at the moment, apart from Fenerbahce in the game against them, where he proved that, but otherwise, sometimes he's prone to just being an ordinary goalkeeper that sat on the bench down in England for many a season as a second or third choice goalkeeper. And we've brought him up here, gave him the showcases your skills, and I just hope he can turn it round. I hope he can turn it round. You've hit
the nail on the head. He actually thinks he's better than what he is.
Well, I think when he got asked that interview, Stevie, when he asked him it, and even when he asked him about the influence of Alan McGregor, he smirked. And he didn't say, Alan McGregor's been a big influence on us and he's maybe this. It was like, oh, well, I'm a top goalkeeper. I've got respect for him now. I hope he's got respect for me and all that. I just thought his interview, when he was asked that and the way he answered it, I didn't like that. But he obviously thinks he's a top goalkeeper, so start acting like one on a regular basis.
When you go, David?
Aye, just in the concentration side about goalkeepers. Now, there's a thing on YouTube with Andy Gorham getting interviewed with Neville Southall, and it's a goalkeepers magazine thing. Now, it's over an hour. It's a great watch. And so they were talking about concentration with keepers, and obviously when Andy came in, he was throwing things into the net, and Walter Smith said to him, "What do you need?" He said, "I need Hodgie. He's our goalkeeping coach." But he also said that, see, when Rangers didn't have the ball. Now, when he was Ab's keeper, he said, "Oh, I'd love that job, looking at Chris Woods or whatever in the other goal and going, I'd love that." He says, but you know, you do realise when you get one shot at you as a Rangers goalkeeper, you have to save it. You know, so I think he always said about concentration. Hodgson always said to him, walk with the ball. When Rangers are the opposition have got the ball, just walk on line with the ball across your 18-yard box and focus on the ball. And it sounds so trivial, that, but they kind of old, you know, the old tactics and the old kind of that. I mean, Hodgie used to, like, because one leg he wasn't getting there quick enough, he used to tie his legs with elastic bands and then hit shots them because he was getting. It's incredible how that works. But concentration for me, Jack. To me, that's concentration with Jack Butland the other night. But I'm sorry, you're playing with Glasgow Rangers. You need to concentrate. You know, can't afford to throw it into the back of the net.
Listen, David, you're totally right. You can't crucify a boy down the other end of the park for doing the same. You know what I mean? And Big Butland's doing the other end, doing the exact same, trapping the ball in the net, the opposition. You know, we've got to be fair. We've got to say it how it is. And Big Butland is a good goalkeeper, but I actually think he thinks he's better than what he is, and he's lost a bit of confidence. There's no two ways about it. I mean, his first season, you're going, well, we've got a keeper here, and then it's just slowly but surely went downhill.
For new keeper?
Reason I don't know.
Did we bend in mind for a new keeper?
No, there's nobody that springs to mind. I don't even think there's anybody domestically that's really caught fire. I've looked at and thought we should go and get him. But I don't see Liam Kelly as the number one at Ibrox. If I'm honest, I think he's got pluses in these games. He is better with the ball at his feet than Jack Butland, but I don't think he can manage. He's not got that presence. I think he's got saves in him. And he'll get to some decent saves, but whether he's got the level of consistency, because people have looked at him for a long time, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. But I think a lot of people would think that's going to be one of our first signings, aligned with two centre halves. Bizarre as it seems, so we've never seen this coming last year.
No, you not seen any Scottish goalkeeper that you think has been pretty good this year, even against us at times? And I can think of two off the top of my head.
There's been times where I thought he's all right, but there's nobody really I thought, that's the man for us to go for. No.
Aye. I thought if I'm honest, I thought the boy at Motherwell, Balcom, that's in loan, that's been in loan for Brentford. He's looked decent. He's right height. He's commanding. A good shot stopper in games I've watched. And he's looked pretty decent. And I thought the other boy at Aberdeen looked pretty decent. They actually signed him for St Johnstone. Mitrovic, I thought when he was in their team regularly, I know he went out with injury. I think he's back in. I thought he'd pretty good season for them. I thought they two goalkeepers this year out with their own. And I thought were the two that I sort of noticed more this year. And they've been pretty decent for what I've watched of them and most of the time. Not really seen them being prone to any major errors.
Aye, true. So there's the scenario works, huh? So if somebody came in for Butland, what would you punt him for? I'll tell you now, we got him for nothing. I would take £2 million or £3 million for Butland in a heartbeat and let him go and get somebody else. There you go. So we've got the same problem at the top of the part as we have at the bottom.
Aye, and to be fair at this moment in time, if you take out the piece, then Dessers has been more consistent than Butland's been. You know, because he's howlers.
And how long's Butland's contract left? 2 years?
I would imagine so, mate. He came in the same time as Dessers, didn't he? Imagine it was a 4-year deal.
I know college can go on longer, but that'll lie the conundrum. If any team fancies him, but his form has to change. Back to referring back to in the game against them, in games where he's been decent, commanded his bolts and pulled off some really good saves. Otherwise, he might not get that move that he might think he might get later on in his career down south. I think if a respectable offer comes in, I would probably let him go, if I'm perfectly honest. I think it'll be quite a high wage earner as well. But I think we've got to go out and look for a new goalkeeper.
But he's cost us points this season, a lot of points. Yeah, and he's no one as many. He's no one as many games. Aye, arguably too
as well.
Arguably too, mate.
Aye, you better believe it, boy. This is what we're talking about. When people are saying, "Oh, we need 2 centre halves." By the way, I've looked at our defence for the keeper to our right and left back and 2 centre halves. We need 5. I'm telling you now. It's quite frightening. I would be quite happy to see them all gone and bring new people in. There you go. Tav should have been away a year ago. Ridvan's no go to it. Yefty, jury's still out, if you want to put it that way, benefit of the doubt because he's young age and whatever. Well, let's be honest. We do need our 2 centre halves. We need a keeper. I'm telling you now. Jack Butland, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but he keeps making mistake after mistake. And it's no good enough for a Rangers goalie. It's no good enough for a Rangers player, as we're pointed out at the other end of the park. So we've got to be fair and say, surely that must be the same scenario at the bottom end of the pitch.
David?
Stevie's spot on. And it's the same issues with Rangers. And this has been for years and years and years and years and years now. The spine of the side.
Yep.
Centre halves in here. The best centre half pairing we had was, and a lot of folk behind me Golson. I don't care what anybody says. Golson was a fantastic servant to Rangers. He was thrown in with a couple of idiots at times, and then Big Hollander came in. Big Hollander run as if his arse hairs were tied together. But you know what? His positional sense, the boy played in Serie A, his positional sense was out of this world. He never get caught out with his pace because he knew where the ball was. This is why, look at our run under Gerrard. I mean, look at our defensive record under Gerrard. It was incredible when we won 55.
Right.
But the spine of your squad, again, Stevie's bang on there. Butland in goals. He's not good enough recently, and this has been for a while. I've stuck up for him for a while here. But no, it's no good enough. And if he can't hack it, he'll need to go out the door. We need another couple of centre halves in. Big Balogun's been a great servant to Rangers. But the fact that we're going again playing Leon Balogun at Parkhead in a big game like that, again, a centre half, we brought him back for Queen's Park Rangers in a loan at one point. We're still going about for centre halves. It's terrible. Rangers said the proper centre halves in there already. Middle of the park. Up front, the spine of the team, the spine of the side is so important. You must have the spine of your side. That's what wins you games. And then you can, with that, you can, add wee bits here and there. But you must have guys that you can rely on. You can't rely on Butland now. And it's been for a wee while now, and I like him, but it's too long now. I love Big Suter, I've got to say. I think Suter's a proper good centre half. Really like him. I also like Big Sterling in the middle of the park as opposed to in defence or out wide or whatever. I like Big Sterling in the engine room. I think he plays his best games in there for Rangers. But aye, it's important. You need to get the spine of the side right. So aye, he's right. As much as I'm criticising Dessers at that end, it's the exact same at the other end. If you're not conceding goals, you're not losing games. And we're conceding far too many now.
Listen, by the way, David, I hate coming on here and talking about the players like that and whatever, because I've got my back and so there's a Paul Rat jersey on. But you've got to be honest. I mean, Big Dessers being ripped apart. He's being ripped apart, something terrible. And the big guy just shrugs it off and then he does some amazing things. Jack Butland's the same. He gets you through the tie with a penalty shootout. And then he goes up to Dundee and he flings the ball out at especially that Shaughnessy to Southern Irish. It broke my heart, that, so it did. And he does stuff like that. So if we're talking about one player up the other end of the park, we've got to be fair when we're talking about Big Butland as well. He's a liability, and does he breed confidence in our team? I don't think he does.
Of course he doesn't. But what I will say as well, Stevie, see you're saying about that Shaughnessy or whatever his name is.
Aye.
That was him that knocked the ball in minute for the own goal as well.
Yep, that's what it was, aye. Yep.
I won't forget this. Remember that wee...
Can I ask you a question about Butland? Is that spread to the defence at times? Have they lost confidence in them Southside?
Well, listen, that was bread and butter. That was a header. It wasn't a very big, very good header, was it? And he lets it bounce up off his chest and spills it. So that's what you've got to look at. That was a basic, simple catch for him. Yep. And he's let himself done. I get that he's played with different defenders. Listen, Lawber was on the night I was on, and he made a good point for Jack Butland. And in the games where he had good games, he was shots for distance is what he spoke about. He talked about a strong defence. That if you get defenders are doing their jobs here on the balls away, and he's only getting shots for 20 yards and that, he's usually going to deal with him. And in the games it so happened, as he'd spoke about, he did that in the games against Fenerbahce away and against them. But when you run 1-on-1 with him like that, I'm not so confident that he's going to save it. And he gets himself into a pickle at times and runs out like he did at St Mirren. So I think maybe the defenders might be a bit uneasy, maybe when they pass the ball back with the feet. I think anything for about 20 yards out, most of them are quite confident that he'll probably get there unless it's Bolton left sometimes for him. But apart from that, if he can keep the defence settled, we're talking about Suter's going to be missing for the European game ups. So therefore, he'd probably prefer Suter to be in there. And it would install a bit more confidence maybe in him as well, knowing that he's got somebody who knows how he plays and what he understands him. But he's meant to be the top goalkeeper. He should be organising his defence and all, making sure that they're marking up and they're on their toes and they're listening to him as well. You can hear the goalkeeper shouting in their ears all the time. He's just going through this run of form where he's prone to the odd error at the moment. And for us as a support and looking at goalkeepers, I believe in a calendar year then, and even though that period of time, it's no often that we've watched many Rangers goalkeepers over the years make as many errors that have led to goals. And he's got away with one in Europe when he tried to walk out with his feet and the ref blew the whistle before the ball went in the net. Barbara gave that as a goal. There was nothing wrong with it. So he has to smarten up, and just be that goalkeeper that we signed. But at the moment, he's going through a patchy calendar year, and it'll be up to him to either sort it for next season, or if an offer comes in and he's happy to go, then I think we'll take the money as long as it's decent enough.
It'd be interesting. I thought we'd solved that problem, but his consistency, and that's what you want for a goalkeeper, is consistency, David, but we'll move on, and I'm sure it'll be talked about. And listen, before somebody makes a decision, we might have a new manager in place. They might know of, the guys might get the job, but we'll see what happens. The takeover, I believe, and the information I've got is moving closer every couple of days, whether it'll be done this month, possibly, but it could be early next month. So let's watch this space, hopefully everything goes smoothly. These things don't happen overnight, but we'll see what it takes as we're at. And I suppose if they've got somebody in mind, if they know they're coming in, they might be talking to somebody, and he might be looking at all these things. Yeah, I hope if they have got a new manager in mind, he's not listening. He'll not be too keen, Stevie. Of doing of giving players a night.
You don't better try to ring him up with a granny. Look, Ox, I don't take it lightly coming on here and running any of the players down, but you've got to honestly see it how it is. Me personally, I think we need a whole new defence. That's just me. That's just one man. But I just think our goalies doesn't breed confidence. He's just lost it, and it's 1 in 3 games now he's getting a goal away, and I just think we need to better that. I think Big Balogun would have gotten 10 years ago what a signing he'd have been for us, but unfortunately the sands of time waiting. No man is a wise man, always says, and I just think the two boys left and right back, Yilmaz isn't going to do. He can get his legs to his passport photo. He's too short in the ears for me. And Tav should have been away last year, let's be honest. And that's just how I feel about our whole defence. I just think we need a whole new back five. I think the midfield going middle to front, I think we're all right. Another player in there, another decent player in there, experienced player, no project, one player in our midfield. And if we get, you're talking, if you're going to get rid of Dessers, you're going to need 2 centre forwards.
Well, there's going to be a lot of work to be done, and obviously we're relying on a lot of people to go to the door to free up wages to do this work, David.
Oh, aye. I mean, there'll be a hell of a lot of changes in here. Guys like Hadji, he'll be away. I seen a thing today as well. People being like, Rangers made a mistake getting rid of Kieran Dowell. Did you watch Kieran Dowell with Rangers? I saw him playing with Birmingham. He's not playing with the same pressure as Ibrox. He wasn't good enough. Same with the boy Davies. As you said there, I mean, the Americans coming in, we're off Glasgow and Rangers to the core. We can't work out this Rangers side. So how is these Americans going to get? They must be all over the place. But what we will say is, I think there's a lot of players that will boot the door who've not really contributed. There's guys in there at Ibrox. I don't mean stealing a wage, and I'm not being nasty here, but see, like, for instance, McCausland, for instance, I don't think he's going to make it at Rangers. You know, he's never really grabbed that jersey. He's never really, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that in any nastiness to him, but we have to be brutal here. You know,
no cracked on, David. You're right. He's no cracked on. Just to get the run when he first came in, he's definitely no cracked on at all.
We have to
make an impact when he does come on.
100%. That's what it's all about, Stevie. It's not about playing every single week, but see, when you do come on, make an impact, son. I was on here the other night about Tom Lawrence, and I always said Tom Lawrence would never play him starting the middle part for Rangers, especially Parkhead and whatever. But what I also did say was, see, with 20 minutes to go, Lawrence isn't a bad sub to bring on. When the pace goes away, that's not me saying that Lawrence is the great I am. But there's Hadji come on the other night. Now, you know my thoughts on Hadji Ox. I'm not a great fan of Hadji at all. I don't think he's done it at Ibrox. I think he let us again.
I've never really mentioned him on here, to be honest with you.
Must have just been me ranting on no. I apologise for that, Ox. Aye, you're wanting to look at your bench and say, right, I'm looking at this guy, bring him on, he might make a difference. For years and years and years, we've been looking at our bench and going, I'm not going to come on here. So we need to listen. It's big changes. We know that, obviously, but it'll happen.
Southside.
Hadji's done more in the Rangers shirt than Tom Lawrence, in my opinion. But aye, it's time for him to go at the end of the season, and he is going to go. So that's where we're at. I agree, David. Lawrence isn't really the answer either. But you want to try and get some of your youth boys. Finlay Curtis was thereabouts, and he's not had a chance either to come back in. But the games have been how they are, and the magnitude of the games, and somebody like Ross McCausland, how's he going to get in front of Czerny on his forum? So, and he's never a winger in the first place. That's not his position. So maybe we'll have to move on in the summer. It might happen. As some of the young boys have and are out on loan, it'll probably not come back and have a future. And we'll have to it's just about who we're going to have to bring in. But it's all right when you bring in the foreigner and he doesn't kick on, he doesn't play well, but because you've paid a few quid, you keep playing him, even when he's rotten. But you bring a young boy on, he has a bad game, because a young boy can't have a good game. He's got to have an excellent game, so he can try and stay in that team the following week, because he's easiest player to take off at half time when things aren't going right. It's a young boy that always gets pulled off the park. So that's another thing that we've got, that we've watched players that were brought in over a period of time in the past and the new. We bring them in for money, they're not performing great, but they still get a place in the team. When one of the young boys, if you'd played them and he'd done the same thing, like you say, he gets took out straight away. So it's about developing players and trying to make them better. And hopefully some of the young boys that we've carried in the squad to now will get a chance before the end of the season in some of the games. But they know the magnitude of the game's coming up. These 4 games, we Hibs flying, and they'll be wanting to make sure they cement a top 6. they're on a good run of form. He'll probably not trust many of them, but he trusted Bailey Rice to come on the park on Saturday in the second half. Whether he had a good game, bad game, in some people's opinions is fair enough, but he trusted him to put him on. You thought he had a bad game. I thought he kept the ball moving and done, but it was probably needed. And it was him that chased. Well, maybe I could have. But at the end of the day, he chased the boy back as well, at Fraser Murray, who managed to get him to go wide to take the shot off the post and didn't score. Although he gave a ball away, he got caught early in the first couple of minutes he came on. So, aye, good and bad, but I thought he kept the ball moving and at least passed the ball to a Rangers player more often than not. And that was just my opinion on it. But at the end of the day, we want the team to get better. We need better players. We need a bigger squad. And we know that that's down to the new board and Jurgen Klopp to sort out.
Jurgen Klopp. Talking about some of the old players that's left, I read an article, not checked it out, but Alex Lowry is now struggling to make the matchday squad at Wycombe. And I've mentioned his attitude. Yeah.
Sad.
Aye. Listen, the boy had a bad time at it, didn't he? Maybe not recover.
Wycombe struggling a wee bit there in Auden and that, like they're not been getting the results. They were scoring quite a lot of goals earlier on, but now they're sort of struggling to get over the line, Wycombe, in some of their games as they're going for that promotion slot, aren't they?
Aye, their form's dipped a wee bit, I believe, yeah. You know, aye. Listen, we're getting near the end of the show, but last word for your good self, David.
Well, just before you say that as well, last time next year, Alex Lowry, he lost his mother. She was an alcoholic and that. And he's actually a real quiet boy. There's a lot of talk of folks said, he was wrong attitude and that, but it's hard when you lose a parent.
So young. I mean, I know people, it happens to a lot of people, but not everybody's in the public eye, mate, yeah?
Exactly. It's so difficult. I lost my dad and I was in bits, so how hard is it when... So, I literally stayed just next to him. And I wish him all the best. I think in my opinion, I mean, he came on that night against, can't remember, I think it was a midweek game, and he scored. So, just can away for all that anyway. But I just wanted to say that.
I wish him all the best, mate. It wasn't my best wishes. I don't think he'll cut it, mate. I think the game's physical, and that jump for youth football to men's football, men's professional football, it's a lot of attitude and physicality involved in it at all levels, mate. But he's got ability, but that doesn't mean he'll make it. Anyway, last word, David.
Aye, so Hibs, they're all going on there a great run. Was it 15 games unbeaten? Well, come on, we should be licking our lips at that. Let's batter them, Ibrox.
Cheers, mate.
As well.
Cheers, mate. Big Stevie.
Aye, good wee night. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Enjoyed David's company there. That was brilliant. David coming on to the Dream Team on Wednesday and giving us his thoughts. Yep, and I enjoyed the discussion on the free platform. And Ox, I'm just glad we spoke about the mob at the other side of the city, because there's not a lot of it getting spoke about in other Rangers podcasts and stuff. They might look at it as, and it's nothing to do with your team, we'll not talk about it, but listen, see if the shoe was another fit, they'd be slaughtering their team. Make no mistake about it. And thanks for having us on. And I'll see my wingman anyway. I hear you're all good for Aberdeen. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, all good for Aberdeen.
Tequila Rose and chopped pork rolls. Here we come.
Southside.
Aye, enjoyed the night as always on the Wednesday with my big mucker. It was good to hear David phone in and talk and give his opinion, because that's what we want, people to phone in and give their opinions and give them a platform. And it's totally free. We phone you back and you can come in and join the show and talk about anything. I'd like to thank all the troops on YouTube as well for being on the night. They're always there. The same names are always there on the YouTube feed and support the channel. So I'd like to thank them for that. And as always, we'll on Saturday. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll get that win at Ibrox that we've not had for a few weeks, and stick one into Hibs, and then we can go for Europe on the Thursday, and hopefully it'll be our magical night that Thursday. So thanks for having us on, and as always, there's only one team and one crown.
Thanks to David for joining us. Thanks to Stevie and Southside for doing the show. Fox for kicking us off, and Old School Blue for looking after us the rest of the evening. Thanks to everybody for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.